Like, ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like 550 on the 5 sticky, come get high with me, that's the deal, right? Ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like 550 on the 5 sticky, come get high with me, that's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? Coming down like precipitation. I ain't never met a limitation. Hate applying my elimination. Gotta go to Google for the information. I'm a superstar, so I gotta shine. Top dollar be the bottom line. Bottom feeding niggas out of line. Turn your heart rate to a dotted line. Yeah, my zodiac probably dollar sign. Got the energy to win it, my nigga, I'm feeling great. Got a date with destiny, focusing on my fate. I don't give a fuck what you rapping, you been a fake. I'm everything that they ain't, it can't be, it won't be. Wanna see me fall, I can't go, I won't leave. Coming from the block with plain clothes and police. Straight up to the top with bankrolls and rollies. Ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like 550 on the 5 sticky, come get high with me, that's a deal, right? Ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like 550 on the 5 sticky, come get high with me, that's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? Ayy, 12 can't really stop shit, so I'm still pushing like a mosh pit. Ice dripping, think I'm hot shit. In the yellow bucket with the mop stick. I've been jugging jams like wholesale. Everything must go sell. Hitting bitches with the oh well. Need 100 million on the low scale. On my worst night, I'm the best nigga. Wouldn't mess with you, couldn't cap to him. Homie spotted me like 700, brought 1100 right back to him. If I can't do it, then it ain't real. I just make dollars, don't make deals. I've been going hard in the paint, still blowing kush clouds till I can't feel like. Ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like 550 on the 5 sticky, come get high with me, that's a deal, right? Ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like 550 on the 5 sticky, come get high with me, that's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? Deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? Got 5 on it.
Do not shit where you live, yeah. 1, we can help you. 2, we can allow you to help yourself. And 3, we can have you replaced.
Hey, see, I really been popping my shit on a whole nother level. You playing, get sent to the devil. These bitches been on me, I swear they keep calling my phone. I'm like, hold on, let me check the scale. If she get time of day, then I had a good place, so I'm back at the spot. She can be like a breath. These niggas be soft on the bitch, but turned up off a perk. Boy, I'm silent.
Do not shit where you live, yeah. Like 1, we can help you. 2, we can allow you to help yourself. And 3, we can have you replaced.
Hey, see, I really been popping my shit on a whole nother level. You playing, get sent to the devil. These bitches been on me, I swear they keep calling my phone. I'm like, hold on, let me check the scale. If she get time of day, then I had a good place, so I'm back at the spot. She can be like a breath. These niggas be soft on the bitch, but turned up off a perk. Boy, I'm silent.
That's my shit. That's my shit. Let that shit rock one more time. Hold up. Let that shit rock one more motherfucking time.
Do not shit where you live, yeah. 1, we can help you. 2, we can allow you to help yourself. And 3, we can have you replaced.
Hey, see, I really been popping my shit on a whole nother level. You playing, get sent to the devil. These bitches been on me, I swear they keep calling my phone. I'm like, hold on, let me check the scale. If she get time of day, then I had a good place, so I'm back at the spot. She can be like a breath. These niggas be soft on the bitch, but turned up off a perk. Boy, I'm silent.
What it do like, this is Shut the Fuck Up and Talk motherfucking panel. This is where we shut the fuck up all of our emotions and talk about the facts. Today is going to be a very, very monumental show. We are going to go ahead and allow our hosts to trickle in slowly. You know, everybody is on CP time. But this is going to be a very monumental show. This show is going to allow you to partake as well. So anyone that wants to hop into the live, the link is now posted on the screen right there. You can copy the link and you as well can partake in the conversation. It's time that we start having the conversation. Absent of emotions, absent of someone's personal opinion, we want to have conversations pertaining to progression. Now, I just want to get a disclaimer. I want to get my disclaimer before we start, because I've witnessed a lot of these type of segments, a lot of these type of shows, and it tends to become toxic before it becomes monumental. It's a necessity. You niggas don't want to see anything that is educational initially. So we start, and it may get a little funky. We're gonna keep it all the way funky, like Logic say. We're gonna keep it all the way funky, give everybody an opportunity to be able to display their opinion, as well as give everyone an opportunity to be able to retort the opinions of those that are displaying their opinion. I feel like we need a lot more spaces like this, spaces where we can interact, spaces where we can network. I ultimately want to build a family. I want to build a family type of environment where we feel free to state how you truly feel. Like, it's really hard in this day and age to say this is how I feel without anyone having an objective opinion that is violent. It's okay to have an objective opinion as long as it does not take a turn for the left. That is what we ultimately want to derail from. We can keep the conversation funky and we can still keep it professional. We can still keep it within the realms of entertainment and education. That's what I want to exalt, and that's ultimately why I came up with the name Shut the Fuck Up and Talk. At some point, you know, someone has to be able to step up and say, man, shut the fuck up. You know, when people continuously get in and they're emotionally driven, we gotta be able to say, man, look, shut the fuck up and let's talk about the facts. Shut the fuck up and let's talk about the facts. If we can't talk about the facts, what's the purpose for the conversation? If we're gonna base all the narratives off how you feel, that is subjective. That can change at any given time. We are in the house, so I have to do it. Bitch! Bitch! It is me, your boy Shine. I am the host. I will be the host tonight. We are lagging. So, while we're lagging, this is what we're going to do. I want to go ahead and play a clip for the one time. This is pertaining to a question that we are going to have tonight. Let me play the question real quick. Trauma builds men and trauma breaks women. I wanted to talk about this topic. I feel like this is a very monumental topic. This topic indefinitely reflects the necessity of gender roles. A lot of the comments and questions that are going to be asked tonight are going to be two-sided questions. We really want to start off and be extremely mild. We want to get everybody's feet wet, everybody be nervous. This is going to be a lot of people's first time being on camera, so we want to make sure everyone's comfortable within their space. So we don't want to just jump into the hard questions that's going to cause the most controversy necessarily to start out with. So let me go ahead and play this clip and give you guys some context.
Hurts women. Trauma builds men. Trauma makes women more masculine. Trauma makes men, if he overcomes that trauma, think about it. If any of you ladies, listen. If any of you ladies go through trauma, listen. Speak this facts right here. No fugazi. If any of you ladies go through trauma, in order for you to overcome it, it's gonna make you a little bit more masculine. It's there. You have to be a little bit more worrisome to figure this out, more direct now, a bit more assertive, maybe a little bit more dominant, so you don't go through those traumas that you went through before, which is innately making you more masculine. Get what I'm saying? So men, when we go through stuff, the masculinity, it suits us nice. So when we overcome traumas, it builds that man, it builds the character. The more things that a man experienced and he overcame, the more sexier and more attractive he is. It's facts.
Yeah. I think I see where you're going, because I do believe that is my problem in relationships. I honestly believe that I've been through so much. I believe that I'm more.
So, how do y'all feel about that? Trauma builds men and trauma breaks down women. This is my reasoning behind my indefinite approach on gender roles. I feel as if within our narrative as a people, regardless black, blue, purple, pink, because it applies to everyone, in order for you to be at your best, you have to align with a good foundation. A good foundation would mean, you know, grounded principles of who you are as a person, the attributes that your personality or your gender is best suited for. So, back to the topic. Trauma builds men and trauma breaks women. I feel as if, as men, it is our necessity to conquer. It is our necessity as men to mold and shape our lives based off the things that we go through. And I'm going to play the clip one more time. We are lagging, you guys. So everybody that pops in, we're just going to give it some time and let everybody continue to trickle in. I'm going to play the clip.
Hurts women. Trauma builds men. Trauma makes women more masculine. Trauma makes men, if he overcomes that trauma, think about it. If any of you ladies, no, listen. If any of you ladies go through trauma, listen. Speak this facts right here. No fugazi. If any of you ladies go through trauma, in order for you to overcome it, it's gonna make you a little bit more masculine. It's there. You have to be a little bit more worrisome to figure this out, more direct now, a bit more assertive, maybe a little bit more dominant, so you don't go through those traumas that you went through before, which is innately making you more masculine. Get what I'm saying? So men, when we go through stuff, the masculinity, it suits us nice. So when we overcome traumas, it builds that man, it builds the character. The more things that a man experienced and he overcame, the more sexier and more attractive he is. It's facts.
Yeah. I think I see where you're going, because I do believe that that is my problem in relationships. I honestly believe that I've been through so much. I believe that I'm more.
So, that's going to be one of the topics that we're going to be talking about today. We're going to give everyone an opportunity to state their premise. Like I said, we're lagging, so I'm going to go ahead and give us a little bit of theme music while we wait for everyone to trickle in. Dun, dun, dun.
Ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like 550 in your thigh stick, we gon' get high with me, that's the deal, right? Ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like 550 in your thigh stick, we gon' get high with me, that's the deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? Ay, coming down like precipitation. I ain't never met a limitation. Hate to plot my elimination. Gotta go to Google for the information. I'm a superstar, so I gotta shine. Top dollar be the bottom line. I'm feeding niggas out of line. Turn your heart rate to a dotted line. Yeah, my zodiac probably dollar sign. Got the energy to win it, my nigga ain't feeling great. Got a dick with destiny, focusing on my fate. I don't give a fuck what you rap, been a fake. I'm everything that they ain't. Can't be, it won't be. That's me fall, I can't go, I won't leave. Coming from the block with plain clothes and police. Straight up to the top with bankrolls and rollies. Ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like 550 on the 5 stick, you can get high with me, that's a deal, right? Ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like 5 stick, you can get high with me, that's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? Ay, 12 can't really stop shit, so I'm still pushing like a mosh pit. Ice dripping, think I'm hot shit. In the yellow bucket with the mop stick. I've been jugging jams like wholesale. Everything must go sell. Hitting bitches with the old well. Need 100 million on the low scale. On my worst night, I'm the best nigga. Wouldn't mess with you, couldn't cap to him. Homie spotted me like 700, brought 1100 right back to him. If I can't do it, then it ain't real. I just make dollars, I don't make deals. I've been going hard in the paint, still blowing kush clouds till I can't feel like. Ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like 550 in your thigh stick, you can get high with me, it's a deal, right? Ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like 550 in your thigh stick, you can get high with me, it's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right?
One, we can help you. Two, we can allow you to help yourself. And three, we can hand you your place.
Hey, see, I really been popping my shit on a whole nother level. You playing, get sent to the devil. These bitches been on me, I swear they keep calling my phone. I'm like, hold on, let me check. If she get time of day, then I had a good place for them. They got the spot, she can be like a pimp. These niggas be stopping the bitch, turned up off the perk. But I'm silent.
All right, we getting ready to start, y'all. We ready to start. So, this is Shut the Fuck Up and Talk panel. This is a podcast in which we shut the fuck up our emotions and we talk about the facts. We are currently on CP time, so we are waiting for everyone to trickle in. While we do so, you guys already know me. Okay. I'm about to add you to the panel. Hey, how's it going? Can you hear me?
Yep.
Heard. Okay, bet. Let me hold on. Let me get some things in order while we get this banner off of here. How's your day been so far? How's your week?
It's going good. Yours?
It's been excellent. It's been extremely excellent. I took today and I took the last couple days off just to relax and reset, and I feel great. I'm ready to get into these conversations. Let me see where we at. Banner. Okay, here we go. Banner. All right, y'all forgive me, we're lagging. I'm trying to find my freaking. Still figuring out the inner workings of everything. Okay. Comments. Okay, perfect. All right. So starting out, we are going to wait for everyone to trickle in, but I believe the first question that we are going to pose is going to be, why is it more popular to chastise modern women than it is to chastise modern men? Kevin Samuels checked men first. I wanted to pose this question because a lot of people do not like Kevin Samuels. He was scrutinized based off of his approach, but a lot of people are unaware of the fact that he actually made it a point to chastise men before he decided to chastise women. And I just didn't, for the life of me, understand why was it that when he chastised women, it was more entertaining, it was more financially plausible than when he chastised men. How do you, well actually, go ahead and introduce yourself, tell everybody where you're from, and then you can go ahead and give your opinion on the question.
Is it just me?
It's just you right now, yes.
Oh, okay. I honestly don't know why that is. This is actually the first time I've heard that, actually. The first thing that comes to my mind is just the thought or the belief that men should lead, I guess. I really don't know how to answer that question. In my perspective, though, just thinking about it from what I just said, not necessarily that I believe it for modern times. That's a hard question to answer right now, because just the world that we live in, unfortunately, it's like women have to be their own boss. Women have to be independent. Well, let me not say have to be, but that's just how it is these days. Like, everybody is kind of for self. You don't see too many people like coming together and working together like men and women, I would say. We have this whole women empowerment thing going on, and I'm for it. Don't get me wrong, I'm for it. But I don't know. Men and women think differently, so I guess the reason why he would say that, possibly because he just doesn't think that a woman can handle her own. I don't know. What's your thoughts? I don't know.
Let me say, I feel like men are less accepting of critiques. So when it comes to critiques, me personally, I know for a fact that when putting out my content, if I was to say something that is emotionally triggering and directed towards men, 90% of the time, they'll just overlook it. And I don't know why it's the opposite for women. I don't know, maybe they're just more open to being critiqued than men are, and men just overlook any type of critiques for the point of being masculine. I mean, I don't. It's a good question. I don't know. That's why I asked. Hey, how's it going? So as everyone trickles in, we're just gonna go ahead and add them to the live. You want to go ahead and introduce yourself? Can you hear us? Are you with us?
It looked like it's
Is your screen froze? Okay, we're gonna keep it rocking. You might gotta refresh your screen. Everybody, disclaimer, this is the first show. This is gonna be really choppy starting out, but with progression, everything gets better. It's just a process. Everybody is getting used to this technology thing, and we all gotta bear with each other while we make do and have these excellent conversations. Honestly, I feel like, back to the question, it's hard to say. I know that for a fact it was receivable when he chastised men. The things that he said, I took in. You know, a lot of men listened. A lot of men altered their life based off of those topics, but it was never trending. It was never something that social media pushed. It was never something that was in the light. It was never something that that was entertaining. I don't know why it's so much more entertaining to chastise women than it is to chastise men. Maybe it's the reaction. Maybe it's because women react entirely different than men do.
I don't know. I know I guess people are different. Me, I'm very receptive. Like constructive criticism, things like that. One, because I feel like the corporate world, just certain spaces that women are still trying to get into, we're not as accepting. Like, there's a certain level of respect. So I don't know. Me personally, I don't feel like I would mind it, because I like to get different perspectives. Of course, I want what I want, or I think how I think. But when I get other people's perspective, I feel like it helps me grow. You know what I'm saying? Especially if it's coming from someone who's been in that space, or someone who's wiser than I am in that perspective or that subject or whatever it is. If they've been there and done that, like, I want to know, because I want to know what to avoid or what I can do or cannot do, you know, to try to, I guess, avoid harm or any type of whatever, because you learn from people who have been through the process already. So me, I can't speak for other women, but I think I would be receptive of it, because I don't know, I like getting different people's perspective, man or woman. But like I said, it just depends on, I guess, what he was chastising about. Like I said, I didn't hear it. I don't even know what we talking about here as far as that guy, but
so you're saying you're not familiar with Kevin Samuels at all?
No, I've heard it before. I'm just talking about the subject. Yeah, I haven't heard that but I don't know.
So let me ask you this: based off of your perspective of him, how do you perceive him for the information that you have about him?
I mean, he's not somebody I just research and just look up. So I don't know too much about him, but I just know what I hear, that he's a butthole. That he just downs women, always talks about women. But I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, a lot of people can say he would be. You would consider him. Do you know who Simon Cowell is?
Yeah.
So he would be like the Simon Cowell of relationship YouTube network. He's that. You would give him that characteristic. I would say that. I think that what he was attempting to do was tap into the emotional psyche of women, because he knew for a fact that him saying things with a sweet approach wasn't getting any response. It's hard. It's hard when you attempt to create and generate finances as well as be entertaining. Like, it's I had a podcast once, and I entitled it "The Catalyst of Media." And I talked about how far people were willing to go in order to receive compensation for their content. And it's all at the will of your audience. You know, it's at the will of your audience is what you're going to present, what they want. You're going to give them what they want if you want to make a profit. So he was doing that. And there's a lot of people that scrutinized him, but was it his fault per se, or was it the fault of his audience? Audience was 90% women, you know, so it's weird. It's everyone says they want that soft, subtle approach, but when they get it, it doesn't give you any results. Or I know for me personally, I can only speak for myself. I know it never gives me the results that I actually want.
No, I agree with that. I feel like he put things out there, and you're right. Majority of the audience was women. I don't know. He knew what he was doing. I can say that. He knew exactly what he was doing. He was saying things to trigger people, but it was bringing the attention that he needed. I mean, like you said, it's me, I'm the type of person, if I don't like something, I'm not going to feed into it. I'm not going to entertain it. Everybody, all these different women were talking crap about him, but like you said, they were entertaining it. They were going back over and over again to digest what he was spitting out. So it's like, yeah, I agree. I agree.
It's weird. The psychology of human beings is really weird. It's weird that people would rather see you fail than they would want to see you succeed. I believe a lot of his following came from people looking for the night that there was someone that was able to give him a piece of his own mind. And a lot of people felt as if that was them. You know, that was the bulk of his audience. Women that felt as if I can tell him what he needs to hear. I can set him straight. And ultimately, he was capitalizing off of knowing that would be your approach. It's weird. You know, we really, not even as black people, I feel like Americans have the crab in the barrel perspective. We don't want to see the next person up. We want to see the next person fall. We want to see the progression to their demise. And I find that with a lot of people that follow me. A lot of people just want to see, when is he going to fall off? When is, he going to step wrong? Or when is it going to be that something is going to look obscured? And that's where you get the bulk of your audience. It's weird, but it's what comes with technology and an ability to project your views.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
Okay, check. We are going to go to the next question. Disclaimer, this did not go how I expected, but I thank you for being a trooper. I am a trooper, so I'm going to give everyone that's in here, even if it's 2 to 3 people, I'm going to give them a show. The next question that we have is, your Prince Charming is a fairy tale, your queen is a fairy tale, True or false?
I say false. Because
Stay false.
yeah, I say false. First of all, you get to define who and what your Prince Charming looks like or is like, and same goes for the queen. Like, I feel like people are so caught up in society and wanting what everybody else has. Like, what works for you is what works for you. If somebody that doesn't look as appealing as your friends, your best friends, or your group of girlfriends, their husbands or their significant others, like, so what? Like, so what? Your relationship, your thing is what you make of it. So if I could be a lawyer or a doctor, I could be a billionaire, trillionaire, whatever. If a bum on the street makes me happy or is my Prince Charming, like, you get to define that.
I'll agree to that to a fault. I feel like I like the way you put that. I really like the way you put that. My only pushback on that would be when people perceive that they are going to get Mr. Right, or when we have, or Mrs. Right, to where we have this long list and ideology of what ought to be or what is going to be our Prince Charming, and then we don't face the facts of reality on what we can get based off of what we are. So I would only push back and say that I believe it's true because the ideology that comes from it, the ideology of people believing that because this is not checked off in every one of my lists, that I'm going to move on until I find my Prince Charming or my queen. Everybody, we are on CP time. Everybody is slowly trickling in. If you could, mic check, camera check. We just want to make sure everybody is audible and visible. Can you hear me? Can you see me? Can we hear you? Can we see you? You in there, Darren?
Yeah, I'm here, bro.
Already. Just give a shout out to everybody. Let them know where you from. Right now we are on the second question. We're just strolling through the questions. As everybody pops in, we'll probably re-go through them. Technology is a mother sucker, so I know a lot of people are having problems with queuing in and getting the cameraing and all that jazz. But let everybody know your name and where you from, big dog.
Darren from Seattle.
Already. Okay, the question that we have right now that we're posing is, your Prince Charming is a fairy tale, your queen is a fairy tale, true or false? How do you feel about that?
False. Definitely false. We don't live in a fairy tale world.
You said we don't live in a fairy tale world, so you say false. Do you feel like why do you say false? Because we don't live in a fairy tale world. Everything is real reality. That's real shit. Everything's
just got reality, like you said. We used to listen to that, watching that Disney movies and stuff. Think we're gonna get that? It's not gonna happen.
Real talk, it's not gonna happen. I feel like that's the biggest reason why a lot of relationships don't work, because nobody wants to stick it out. Everybody feels as if it's always supposed to be summertime and you're supposed to be walking through the grass and romantic dates, but sometimes it's foot to the pedal grind and shit ain't right. So I feel like that's a lot of the reason why a lot of the relationships in today's age don't last. We don't have any longevity past happiness. That goes into our next question. So our next question is going to be, is your happiness a personal choice or an obligation of your counterpart? We'll start with you at the top, Queen.
I would say your happiness is a personal choice. I feel like you have control over what makes you happy. Just like we was talking about the first question, if you feed into things or if you entertain things that are negative or that are always like something that's always keeping you down or just keeping you in a negative space, in my opinion, I don't feel like you would be happy. I don't know. I just feel like it's a personal choice.
What's your opinion on the question, Darren?
Oh, she said the exact words I was gonna say. It starts with you. It starts with you. If you don't have you first, if you're not making yourself happy or doing what you need to do to be happy, no one else is gonna come in and fill that for you. I don't think it's possible.
Facts. I'll go even further and say that if you're not happy, then you won't know how to set the standard for someone else to make you happy. So, and this goes for a lot of guys. A lot of guys get into relationships and then their home is not peace. So they come home and they're scrutinized, and then they go into the world and they're scrutinized. And it's because you don't know how to make yourself happy. Because if you knew how to make yourself happy personally, you wouldn't allow anyone to lower that standard of happiness or that standard of acceptance or any type of consideration to who you are. You would make sure that it is of merit because you first put yourself on that standard. So I agree. It's your personal choice. Your counterpart cannot make you happy, whether you're a man or a woman. First, you have to be happy. And then when you guys come together, you're supposed to try to find happiness amongst each other. Going into the next question, I have a video I'm going to play. Here we go.
Trauma hurts women. Trauma builds men. Trauma makes women more masculine. Trauma makes men, if he overcomes that trauma, think about it. If any of you ladies, listen. If any of you ladies go through trauma, listen. Speak this facts right here. No fugazi. If any of you ladies go through trauma, in order for you to overcome it, it's gonna make you a little bit more masculine. It's there. You have to be a little bit more worrisome to figure this out, more direct now, a bit more assertive, maybe a little bit more dominant, so you don't go through those traumas that you went through before, which is innately making you more masculine. Get what I'm saying? So men, when we go through stuff, the masculinity, it suits us nice. So when we overcome traumas, it builds that man, it builds the character. The more things experience that he overcame, the more sexier and more attractive he is. It's facts.
Yeah. I think I see where you're going, because I do believe that that is my problem in relationships. I honestly believe that I've been through so much. I believe that I'm more.
All right, we're going to start with you, Darren. How you feel about that little clip? Can you hear me? All right, bet. I'm going to give my opinion on it. This is how I feel. I feel like it's a fact. I feel as if it's a fact that trauma does build men and it does hurt women. What they said, pressure was made for pressure was made for shoulders, not hips. I agree with that. I know as a man in life, you receive your merit or you receive your value through the things that you go through. You know, as a woman, it's a tad bit different because your merit is received based off of your ability to be fertile, your ability to create, your ability to nurture. It's not something that you grow into, it's something that you have initially. And as a man, our merit comes from our ability to conquer in the world and the things that we have conquered. So if you consider yourself a man and you haven't been through anything, it's kind of hard for anyone to accept that. So that's why I would say that I totally agree that trauma builds men and breaks women. What would be your opinion on it, Nicole?
I don't know if I can speak on whether it builds men. I can say what I think, I guess. I guess I've seen a few men go through things but I've seen some be totally broken. So I don't know. As far as the men go, I really can't speak on that. Women.
Before you say that though, what do you mean by you've seen some be totally broken? Totally broken by the trauma that they faced in life?
Yeah. So it's like it didn't, you know, what this guy is saying, I guess, is that trauma makes them like stronger and like, I don't know, like it doesn't affect them in the way that it would a woman, because we're emotional creatures. Like we express things through our emotions, and you know, instead of like a man typically would do, you know, get up and just keep it moving, and now he knows what moves to make and what moves not to make. A woman is not like that. Most women anyway, I guess, because we typically lead by our emotions. So I would have to say I agree with that, and that's based off personal experience. Yeah.
You still there, Darren?
Yeah, I'm still here, bro.
Already. Did you catch that clip?
Yes, I did.
How you feel about that? Trauma builds men and breaks women.
Some men, not all. You know, I know a couple of guys that trauma hasn't changed them for the good. It changed them for the worse. You know, but some men, you know, use that as some men use that, for my example, stuff that I went through made me think, you know, it's time to change. It's time to level up. It's time to grow. You know, not to, you know, basically not to use that trauma to do negative things. It's time to do more positive things to change my outcomes that I didn't like before, you know. When it comes to women, some women, trauma makes them more masculine. They feel like because they can do this and that, or they went through this and that, now they run everything. So that's my approach on it.
So let me ask you this. So you said that for some men it does make them better, and for some men it breaks them. My question would be, will we consider them men if they don't have the ability to evolve from the traumas that they face in life?
Well, once you're 21, you're a man. Once you're 18, I mean, you're a man. You know, you might not be mentally there, but you're a man. And that's up to you to seek out the help you need to help you heal and help you get better. Especially if you have kids.
Respect.
That's your job to know what's going on in your life and correct it before it's too late.
I'm gonna say that I'm gonna call them grown adults, but I just when we say man, I feel like it's a different title. You know, when we say man, that means you have the ability to lead, you have the ability to mentally code switch and be able to take those traumas and make those triumphs. So if you can't accomplish that, it's hard for me to label you a man. I know that based off of our society, they say at 18 you're a man, but I think it's a little bit more than age. You know, I feel like that's a bit of the disconnect that a lot of young men feel like because they hit 18 and they nuts dropped that now they're men. But it takes, you know, you actually applying the things that you learned to receive that merit, that title of being a man. You feel what I'm saying?
But what does trauma have to do with the fact that man is not a man? And does that have anything to do with his upbringing? Like, because a man has gone through something, does that mean, let me back up. Just because a man has gone through something and he's dealing with it in a way that I guess a typical man would not deal with it, or he's handling it in a way that typically women would handle it, why would that make anybody feel like he's less of a man?
You just said it right there, Queen. He's handling it the way a woman would handle it. If he's no, respect. I respect that opinion. If he's handling it the way a woman would handle it, then we as men, you know what? I as a man couldn't see him as a mutual man if he's handling shit like a woman. I'm gonna call a spade a spade. I'm gonna be like, nigga, you acting like a bitch. So if that's the case, you know, that would you further prove my point. I'll agree to disagree.
I mean, I don't know. We're all humans, right? We all have emotions. Like I said, women are emotional creatures, and we lead with our emotions. But just because a man is showing the same thing once he's going through trauma, like what if he doesn't have men in his life to show him how a man would typically handle things? Like why would that make him less of a man if he's emotional about something or if he's expressing himself? Like, I don't know. Me personally, I don't mind. I prefer a man that doesn't mind expressing himself. Like, don't feel like you gotta keep stuff in or men don't cry. Like, me personally, I think that's whack. Like, why are we teaching our men that they're not supposed to show emotion? Because, and I guess I feel that way because I've seen men who did not handle that well. Like I know a few men who, because they were raised that way, oh, men not supposed to cry, or like you said, you acting like a female and all these other things. Well, those same men have committed suicide because they didn't feel like they were being listened to. They didn't feel heard. They didn't feel seen. Or whenever they did try to express themselves to somebody, they were told just that they're acting like a female, or, you know, basically get your stuff together. Like you a guy, you a
There's
man.
nothing wrong with showing emotion at all. There's nothing wrong. Like I said, you gotta have that core group to show emotions too. You gotta have that brotherhood or whatever, that core. One person to 2 people, 5 people that you can go to and talk to about the problem. So there's nothing wrong with showing emotion.
Facts. I'll say it's not what you do, it's how you do it, in my personal opinion. So if you go through a traumatic situation and you're not able to capitalize from it, then that's not man-like. And I'll just retort to what you said. Just because when you were saying that, just because he's not able to conduct himself the way that we would deem a man is supposed to, should we look at him different? And it's fucked up, but society doesn't owe us understanding. You know, no one owes us any type of understanding. What it is what it is, and the standard of what it means to be a man is what it is. And I do agree that you as a man should be able to show emotions, but it's a time and a place for everything, and it's not what you do but how you do it. So if you're acting like a female, it's hard for me to deem you a man, because you should at all times be acting like a man. That doesn't mean that you don't have emotions. That doesn't mean that you don't consult to someone about your emotions. It just means that you're not emotional. You're not taking your emotional approach to everything, and that's how you react. I like that. I agree. I'll agree with that. All right, we're gonna move on to the next question. The next question is, what did Obama do in exchange for the black vote? I wanted to ask this question because a lot of people are on the Obama bandwagon. Me personally, I like the ideology of there being a black president. I just don't feel like he was a black president. We'll start with whoever wants to go first. How y'all feel about this? What did Obama do in exchange for the black vote?
He did nothing. He did nothing, man. It's sad to say. He did nothing. Look at the hate for Asians, you know, that was going on, a year or 2 ago. They made it a law, you know, for the Asians, so you can't, you know, hurt Asians. This has been going on with us forever. We can't get a law passed about police this racial profiling.
And why do you think that is? Why do you think that is? Why do you think we can't get no laws passed?
Man, I have no clue. We don't. I was listening to Dr. Umar about this, and he said something like, we don't hold them accountable.
Facts.
We need to hold our vote. We need to hold our vote as race. We need to hold our vote, man. We got to stop voting for Democrat and Republican. We need to vote for somebody that we know is gonna do things that we need them to do. We got half of black voting for Republican, half voting for a Democrat.
And half voting for whatever else they feel at the time. Yeah. How do you feel about it, Nicole?
I agree. I mean, it was cute.
You said it was cute.
It was cute.
It was cute. That's about all it was.
I feel like Michelle did a lot more on the sideline, like kids and empowerment and things like that. It feels like there was more of that going on than anything in, the presidency. I agree.
I'll touch back on what you were saying, Darren. I feel like, bro, a lot of other races of people, they literally put people in office. Like, they have kids that they say, okay, this child is very intelligent. We're going to shape and mold them, put them into legislation, and then they give them a blueprint of shit, nigga, we want you to pass this law. We want you to get this passed. And we're just not that intentional as a people. We haven't got to that point to where we look past what the norm is and say that this is what we're doing in order to build. But that's what them motherfuckers do. From the Jews to the Asians to the Arabs, they all take their children, put them in law school, put them in political school that aligns with their political profession, and then they push their agenda. We got to start shaping and molding our children to be the next mayor of the city or the next councilman or the next whatever it may be. And then on top of that none of that shit looks good. It doesn't look good. We deem politics to be bad, and our kids, they don't, as a child, I don't think I even thought about politics until I was like in my mid-20s. We never have those conversations with our children to where we're talking about the laws being passed and how it can affect our community if we took time to focus on this. Just my
We need to hold our vote. We need to hold our money.
Money, definitely. I agree with that.
We give our money to alcohol, Jordan, Nike, Yeezy, weed, nails. Our money don't come back to us for nothing. It goes to everybody else.
Say, that's enough. You know what? And this is, a lot of people might feel some type of way, but I feel like Martin Luther King had an excellent idea, but we should have never wanted to be intermingled with other races. No other races are intermingled with us. No other races. No other races. How do you feel about that, Nicole?
We had our own Black Wall Street. We had our own everything.
So why?
And we give our money to them.
I'm gonna ask you, Nicole. Why do you feel like we were so in need of being included in everybody else's shit?
I don't know. Why. I wish I was why. Like, I'm not even lying. I used to feel like I wish we could time travel because I used to want to know the thought process from some of this stuff.
Some of these niggas, I'll say it for you.
Some of this stuff.
I got you.
I did though. Like, I used to want to know the thought process because I just don't understand how we went from like Black Panther to, like you said, just wanting to be with everybody. Like how and why?
It's crazy. I don't know. I feel like I know for a fact when Martin Luther King passed, he was what, like 24, 25 maybe? So he was hella young. I feel like they got to him and influenced him to something that he felt like would end the bullshit, but it only perpetuated. I totally don't agree with us intermingling with other races in certain aspects. I feel like we should all socially, have our kumbayas, kick it, all the fun shit. But when it comes to like legislation, politics, school, finances. Those are things that we need to do as a singular unit, opposed to dispersing shit in every which direction. I honestly feel like that was one of the biggest downfalls of black people, us integrating with the others. Okay, I'm gonna go on to the next question. The next question is going to be: could you be in a relationship that does not make you happy? I'll start with you, Nicole.
I have been. For the sake of my kid, probably was the stupidest thing I've ever done. Would I do it again? No. I wouldn't. Because I guess because of growth, and I know that peace is everything to me right now. I'm just in a whole different space. I don't know. When I turned 30, it was like everything just became clear. Like, girl, what was wrong with you? So I don't know. I definitely wouldn't do it again. I wouldn't do it again. No.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and answer. I have been in a relationship that doesn't make me happy, and I sometimes regret that because it was the mother of my child, and I discontinued the relationship because it didn't make me happy. And I'd reference back to what you said. You stayed for the children, and I feel like, although I wasn't happy, I feel like I could have stuck it out a little longer. I feel like my daughter's well-being of having that 3-parent family structure is more important than my happiness. I didn't feel like that at the time, and I may feel a different way at any other time, but just right now, looking at me having to travel 100 miles on the weekends to come get her, when I could be waking up to her every morning, I could be taking her to school. And me personally, I would say that I could personally be in a relationship that doesn't make me happy. I would just have to make my fucking self happy. What's your take on it, Darren?
Hey, you're right. What you just said. You're right, man. It's I could have stuck it out and made myself happy. I being too selfish to myself, man. To being too selfish, thinking of myself. So I could have been unhappy, man, and stuck it out. I could have made myself happy or made the situation work if I was thinking how I thought today. At my age now, I could have fixed things and made things work. Back then, I was selfish.
That's real shit, and that takes a real man. You know what, man? I watched this is a hell of a reference, but I was watching motherfucker my show what Power, the Ghost Power, and motherfucker the Mexican nigga killed old girl's son, and for the longest he didn't want to tell her, and he finally told her. And I said, you know what, nigga, I feel that. It don't matter what you do as a man. Being a man, in my personal opinion, is being able to accept your truth. And being able to say, yeah, I could have stuck it out. I could have made myself happy. As men, we are the narrators of our fucking, reality. So at the end of the day, if anything is not working, niggas, it lies on us. It doesn't lie on them because we're the lead. So I can understand why Nicole said she couldn't, and I understand why me and you both said that we can now, looking at things as they currently are. Respect, much respect.
Well, I have to say, I agree with y'all to a certain extent, but when it came to my situation, I was dealing with a whole different type of guy. Like, he didn't think like anything what y'all just said. And I was with him for 13 years. The last year and a half, we co-parented in the same house because I was just like, okay, I'm gonna try to stick it out. Even though I wasn't happy with him, it was like, I'm gonna try to stick it out and try to make it work for the kids. But the whole situation itself was just it wasn't healthy, not necessarily just for me, because at one point I was just thinking about me like, okay, I can't do this no more. But then I was like, okay, it's not just about me, it's bigger than you. So I decided to co-parent, still in the same house. But it got to a point where there was no co-parenting. I was just housing him. There was no lead. I was the lead. So, that kind of takes us back to a couple of questions ago too. Sometimes the women have to be in control, even when we don't want to. Like, I don't want to be in control. I get tired of being in control. But when you're dealing with a type of man like that, sometimes that's just what it is. Could I have stuck it out even longer than what I did? I don't feel like I could have. And it didn't come from being selfish. It came from me assessing my household and the situation. My kids weren't happy. I wasn't happy. I don't know what he felt, because he just didn't want to communicate. Like, there was no, at one point we cooked together, we cleaned together. Like, I'm very mutual. If you doing the dishes, if you're cooking, I'm doing the dishes type situation. But it came to a point where it was not like that anymore. And I was okay with that for a minute. But when you stop picking up kids from school, when you stop feeding the kids, when you stop bringing any type of funds in the house to support the family, like, okay, now you have to go, because now I'm just housing you. So
You said the kids wasn't happy.
they told me they weren't happy, and it was a lot more to it. Like, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. So, like, it was a situation where he was taking my kids around other women. Like, he was leaving them around other women that they didn't even know. I didn't even know them. And I didn't know this until, like, my kids would sneak and tell me, but they wouldn't tell me often because they thought they were gonna get in trouble. And I'm just like,
it was his kids too?
yeah. Yeah.
So they're not happy with being with their father?
No, they're happy being with him. They weren't happy with the situation. They knew that we were together, but he's taking them around other women, doing things,
So they felt
doing
uncomfortable.
adult things around,
So they basically felt uncomfortable because they know they don't know this person and okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that goes back to what I said. That's why I totally agree. As men, it's different because we are the leader. Now, if ultimately, I always say accountability is key. We choose who, we go into a relationship with. So if you made a bad decision and you chose the wrong person, then I agree that as a woman, it's a tad bit different. You should have that opportunity to say, I made a bad decision, I picked the wrong motherfucker, and I'm going to try to pick again. But for a man, it's a tad bit different because we are the decision. We are the foundation. We don't have that opportunity to say, I made the wrong decision. Nah, nigga, you need to make it like right. Only in this situation when there's kids involved. Now, if it's just you and a female and y'all, you figure out that this shit ain't working. But if you as a man, I feel like you lay down with a woman, you made a baby. It's our job to make sure that this situation makes like right. But I totally agree. If he's not leading right, what the fuck? I mean, shit. Everybody has to follow somebody. I follow a motherfucker, and I wouldn't follow a motherfucker that's not of statue. That's not a helmsman. All right, I'm about to play as a caveat. Screen share. Hold up. Present. Screen share. This song. Have y'all heard this song by For the Girls?
A snippet.
Okay, we finna play it.
For the girls getting money. This for the girls who don't need no man. This for the girls who love themselves. This for all the girls that did it by themselves. This for all the girls that's IDEPENDENT. This for all the girls that been living stress free. This for all the girls on a mission like me. This for the girls. This for all.
Alright, we'll stop right there anyway because YouTube will flag me if I play too much. But how y'all feel about This Is For The Girl? CC. Getting her second win in the game. Her third, fourth win maybe.
You need to stop. Just sit down and stop. Like, my opinion, girl, you're married. You don't want the street. You don't want the street. Stop it. You don't want to be in the street. You're married. Look it. You got a great football player, a great husband, you know, loves God, loves your kid that's not his. Stop. Like, you lose this guy. Quit. Like, quit. Like, look when she went to the awards or whatever and was half naked. Like, bro, what are you doing? You're representing Russell Wilson. Like, you can't do that. Then they're out of line for showing LeBron's wife. Classy. They're out of line for that. So it made the situation look so much worse. I know I don't know, but I think Russell Wilson is kind of embarrassed about it. He was really half naked. Like,
he also went out there though. Like, he accepted that.
Okay, look, let's get your opinion. What's your opinion, Nicole? How you feel about it?
I don't like it. The whole awards, wherever they went to, ass naked, I don't like it. It's a good representation or respect for yourself or herself or her husband. Like, I wouldn't dare her. Like, why? Not only that, but like, I care what my kids think about me. One day her I don't like the video because I mean it's cute and colorful, but number one, I don't like when people say they do things by themselves. Like, you've never done anything in life by yourself. Whether you physically did it, like by yourself, you picked up that and you learned it from somebody else. You've never learned anything by yourself. So I personally don't like to say that, but she for dang sure didn't do anything by herself. Like, you had a team of people helping you get to where you are. And like you said, she's married. Why are you making a video like that or a song like that and you're married? I just don't get it. I don't understand.
Can you show the picture of her and LeBron's wife at the awards?
Let me see if I can find it. Give me a second. Hold up, I got you. They got a back-to-back. Hold up. I see Sierra ass out, but I don't see the back-to-back.
I know I seen on Instagram they had right next to each other on pictures Sierra and LeBron's wife. I was like, man, they out of line for doing that.
Oh, I did see it. I saw it.
And plus, they be preaching about God and all this, and she's half naked.
Yeah, she's always that's always been Sierra though. She's always been naked.
But didn't she have like just a nipple cover? A nipple cover?
Man, she might as well been naked. Her whole ass was out. She had barely her nipples was covered. I can't find that picture though. Yeah, I can't find it. It gotta be just on Instagram. Yeah, she was damn near naked. She might as well have been naked. I feel like this. From a business perspective, I commend her. I commend her for her ability to be able to disassociate her emotions and trigger everybody to purchase her shit. I commend her for that. She is an excellent businesswoman. Now, when it comes to her having the best interest for women, she don't give a fuck about women. She don't give a fuck about y'all because she's trying to lead women into a burning building. She literally is married for one. She's never been single. She went from Bow Wow to 50 Cent to Future to fucking Russell Wilson These are all high influential individuals that have perpetuated your career every step of the way. So you are not taking the blueprint of the information that you're projecting. So I know for her, it's just a business move. And that's what I would wish a lot of women would gain the understanding, that people are playing chess while our beautiful black queens is playing checkers and taking in all this information that they're giving you because they know that you are consumers. They know that if they can disassociate you from wanting a man, that you're going to purchase all their shit. You're going to be easily accepted. You're going, who said this? Somebody said this. They said that women are supposed to feel for men and men are supposed to think for women. And I feel like that's a part of the reason why when I talk about gender roles, it's such a necessity that we get back to what the fuck a man is and what the fuck a woman is, because now we don't have any balance. We got men trying to feel for themselves and they don't have that woman to say, baby, you know, this is what's going on, wop de wop. So it becomes a mental disconnect. Then we got women trying to think for themselves, and it's near to impossible because you think with your emotions, you think with your heart. You don't rationalize logic. I totally feel like the song is bullshit, and she did it because she knew she would make money from it. She's smart. We gotta see past the entertainment side of it. We gotta see past the emotional side of it and see that she was looking to get a bag, and that's what she did. She literally made the clip it like 6 months before she dropped the song, knowing that it would get as much controversy as it got. And then she dropped the song. Like, she's literally strategically playing on the minds of women. If I was a woman, I would be pissed the fuck off. You sitting here lying to me talking about this is for my independent women. Bitch, you ain't even independent. You ain't never been independent. How the fuck you gonna tell us you making a song for us and you finna go sit next to not only a man, but some would say the fucking man. This nigga, I totally don't agree. I totally don't agree. I totally don't agree with it.
And you gotta think the average woman don't get that many chances that she got.
Not at all.
Wow.
And she's just perpetuating that that's possible. And a lot of people start to believe that that's a possibility. Girl, I could wait. I could get me a Russell. What she have not too long ago, Sierra's prayer? And she had the prayer where she was praying that she was praying that she could get her a good man while having a good man. Like,
but women don't understand that. Like, man, you might have that good man. Man, you don't get that many chances. I got sisters, family members.
Not at all. I got 4 myself. I got 4.
And I tell my sister straight up, like, that was a good dude. You might not, I don't know, pray and guard the seat. But you might not get another one.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
I got a cousin that I talk to all the time. I think she's like 47, 48. She be talking about all the time, man. Why am I my Christians I do? You're half of 100 on it.
And see, this is another reason why I stress gender roles, because it's different. It's different for women than it is for men, in my opinion. Nicole, I would like to get your opinion on this. But I feel like for men, I know for me, at this stage of my life, at 32, I know that my DMs is more flooded than they've ever been. I know that I have more opportunities now in life as far as relationships go than I've ever had. And it flips-flops for women. At 32, for a woman, it's a tad bit different. It's a tad bit different based off of how many niggas you gonna have in your DM, based off of how many people are gonna give you the time of day. How do you feel about that, Nicole? Do you feel like the gender, when for a man, do you feel like their value comes earlier or later? For a woman, do you feel like their value comes earlier or later?
I feel like it depends on what you put out there. In my opinion, men are visual creatures. So if you continue to give them a visual, age don't matter.
Okay, I'll retort that and I'll say that's true to an extent. But what if there's someone that can give them that same visual with less trauma? You think they're gonna take the person with the good looks and the trauma, or the person with the good looks and no trauma?
I don't know. That's a good question. I've seen it from every angle. I've seen a lot of men go for the women with good looks and trauma, or women with, I guess, not good looks and trauma, because they feel like they can walk over that woman. She's going to allow something to happen. They're going to do what they want to do, and she's just going to accept it. Not going to say nothing, and she's going to stick beside it. I don't know. That's a good question, though, because I've also, like I said, seen it from the other perspective. But I feel like there's a lot of women who have not gone through trauma, who have like strong upbringings and things like that, and men will, I guess, shy away from them because, I don't know, maybe they won't allow certain things.
What do you mean by that? What do you mean by, so you're saying that you've witnessed that there's a lot of women that don't have any trauma that you say men shy away from?
Well, I'm just saying I've seen it from different perspectives. I've had some who were raised in two-parent homes. They didn't go through anything. They had a good upbringing. Of course, they didn't think they did. Everybody has opinions of their life, but in comparison to their friends, other people that they surround themselves with, they had a great upbringing. They can get men, but they don't keep men, I guess, because they won't allow certain things. Or I have one friend, she was told that she's a challenge, or she's kind of intimidating. But I really feel like that's because she just wasn't going to allow certain things.
Like what? What was she not willing to allow?
I don't know, like just him cheating, or telling her what to do. Now that could be fun a couple different ways, because I mean, maybe she felt like she wanted to be in control and didn't really believe that a man should be, which is weird because she was raised in a two-parent home. So I don't know. I really don't know. But like I said, I've seen it from different perspectives, so I really don't know.
Yeah. Valid. I can't really speak on that particular situation. If you say that she didn't want a man to lead, then that may be the reason, you know.
Well, I'm just saying that I don't know if that's her reason or not. That's just my assumption. I can assume that she just didn't want him to lead because she wanted to do what she wanted to do. Like in my opinion, she was spoiled. Like, she was a brat. She got everything she wanted from her parents. So she just wanted to be in control, in my opinion.
That's scary. I got a little girl and I spoiled the shit out of her, and sometimes I gotta take a step back and be like, okay, there's, like, take for instance, this child, she's 8. She done broke 5 phones in the course of 2 years. And I say, okay, I just gotta stop buying my baby phones, because she just think that phones grow off of the goddamn phone tree or some shit. But in the same breath, I don't want, her to want for anything, but I don't want her to have that mentality to where she feels like everything is supposed to be just, here you go. That's a hard balance in being a father. I know that for a fact.
Take that phone away.
No, seriously, I was just thinking that because before the call, I just had a conversation with my 8-year-old daughter, and she was like, tripping, like, didn't let me get the phone, and I'm just like, what are you hiding? Like, first of all, I feel like that's the worst thing we could have done as parents was
give them phones,
give them technology. I feel like that was the worst thing we could have done.
Is it possible to keep them away from it, though? Is it possible?
No, it's not. It's not, because they do it at school.
Exactly.
Stuff from school, and they're able to look up stuff. Some sites, but they have it now where it's blocked, but you can still look it up. So like if you're typing it in or whatever, it's gonna trigger to the teacher's laptop, and she's gonna know what you're looking at or trying to look up. So it's like in society influence, you know, friends might phones, you know, at lunchtime or on the playground or whatever, they have access to it. But it's just as for the ones who are aware of the problem, I just feel like yeah, we messed up.
Yeah, it's that's a hard one for me, man, because I know for a fact that the way that society's going, it is of a service to make sure that your children know how to navigate technology. But if you just give them a phone and, you know, tell them you don't monitor them, because I know for a fact I had a situation where she was doing some kind of painting app, and the painting app had a conversing feature to where you can talk to other people, and a lot of these apps are like that. So I find that it's okay, you know, if they have technology, if they know how to respect it, unlike my beautiful baby. But you gotta monitor that shit, because they got apps to where they can talk to people, and these pedophile motherfuckers is doing other shit. My nephews, they like to watch YouTube a lot. They got YouTube channels to where they'll play some kid-friendly shit, and then midway through it, it's like some demonic ass shit. So you go in and you hear the kid-friendly happy shit, and then you look up and it's somebody killing somebody in the same video. You like, what the fuck is this? So yeah, that shit's real, bro. The technology is a motherfucker. You really gotta watch that shit. Really gotta watch that shit.
And I think for me, I gave my kids phones. I started with my teenage boys. So I started with them because of society. Again, I was afraid of, you know, sending them to school without a phone for them to be able to call me. And then, of course, after, you know, their dad was gone, I was like, okay, y'all really need a way. Well, I need a way to contact them, right? Or, you know, y'all getting in middle school and high school, so I need to be able to call y'all, or y'all need to be able to call me. And I brought up society because it's like, you know, you watching the news and you just hearing about all this stuff that is happening at these schools, and it's like, I don't know, like I need my kids to have a phone so that they can call me. Now, if they're in a state of emergency, I don't know, like, I wouldn't be able to save them if, you know, it's like an active shooter or something like that there, right? But I don't know, something in me was just like, I just need them to have a phone. Like, I need to be able to contact them, and I need them to be able to contact me.
I felt that same way for the sake of my daughter being at the mother of my child's house. I needed that direct line of communication in case she ever decided she don't want to talk or she whatever. I don't even need to talk to you. I can just call my baby. So that's one of the reasons why she keeps a phone. I totally agree. That's probably going to be one of the questions that we have next week, y'all. I appreciate y'all for stopping in. I'm going to be doing this every Friday. Next week, hopefully, we'll get a couple more people that are a little bit more technologically savvy and can be able to navigate through this app. I appreciate y'all. Y'all was an excellent contribution to the conversation. And this is Shut the Fuck Up and Talk. This is what we're going to do. We're going to have several different segments like this. Hopefully bring on a lot of different people to get their perspective on how we can come about change and be a collective. I want to build a network of people that are looking to build, that's looking to, you know, better themselves, that's looking to build a community throughout this metaverse that we, you know, are associating with. Everybody likes and comments on all the fuck shit. We should be able to interact and fix some shit, in my personal opinion. I appreciate y'all though. Thank you for pulling up.
No problem.
Thank you.
Already. Respect. We about to get out of here. I'm about to close out. This is Shut the Fuck Up and Talk, y'all. Thank everybody for pulling up.
Show display names.
We will be back
Loop.
next Saturday.
20230.